Can here, and today I want to try out a couple new to me products, and I thought that might be a good time to put these just in case there's someone that in your shopping list that might like these for gifts. It might be a good time to try these out. And so one is the Tom Studio Lumos Mini. I've been hearing a lot about this Tom Studio pen and decided I would try it out. I really like the concept of it, of having a refillable pen that you can fill with whatever fountain pen ink you want to. And kind of the idea is to eliminate some of the waste in these disposable pens that we use. So I want to try that out, see if it can be a good replacement for some of my ink pens that I use in sketchbooks, and might be a good travel pen to use. Then, since these are a little pricey, I thought for those with a little bit different budget, I would also try this Karrapo pen. These are from Amazon, and same basic concept. They come in, this pen comes with 11 tips, so you just choose which tip you want. This one you have to choose when you order. This particular set I got is the brush pen, and so that's the tip that it includes. They also have other tips like a fine line and other kinds, but I thought this I'm planning to be a fine tip, and with like my carbon black ink. This I thought I would could have fun with a variety of fountain pen colors with the brush tip. So let's dive into these, open them up, and see what we think. So I'm going to go with this one first. I'm very curious about it. I've heard a lot about it. I did get this from Blick Art Supply rather than directly from Tom Studio. So let's just see. Beautifully packaged here. It says lift out carefully for tips and ink. So this is the pen, which is very small and compact. So that would be really good for travel. There's the cartridge. Okay, I think I better get the instructions out though before I go too much further with that. But that is definitely small and would be easy for a travel kit. This is very pretty. I'm sure I will use that in collage somewhere. And it comes with a little bottle of ink to use. Now this I don't think is permanent, and what I really want to have in this, in my fine tip pen, I really like a permanent ink like carbon black so that I can watercolor on top of it. So I think I will not use this, but I might use it in one of my other brush pens. This will get recycled as a collage element, I'm sure. And then it's got this little silicone piece. It's got a set of tips here. Oh yes, with all of these. So it's got 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.8, a 1, a brush tip, a chisel tip, a bullet tip, a 0.3 and 0.5 W. I'm not sure what that means. But big variety of tips there. I think something for everyone for sure. And then I assume these are the instructions, so we'll get that out. So this kind of talks about the history of the company and how this came about. Shows all the different parts here, which this is the silicone tip. This is the tip cover. This is just the handle. This is the reservoir for the ink. This is where the tip goes. This holds the tip. And then the reservoir. So the reservoir pops in and out. Okay, to change the tip type, hold the tip holder. Unscrew the tip cover, which I've already done. Pop in the tip of your choice. I think I'm going to start, I'll try the 0.5. Okay, pop in the tip of your choice. Place the tip cover back on and tighten. I think that kind of crimps it in there, and then my tip is sticking out the top. So these are the fiber tips. It says you can be pushed in without unscrewing. So, all right, so now to fill the reservoir, dip it in the ink of your choice, which I'm going to try this platinum carbon black ink. To fill the reservoir, dip it in the ink of your choice and let the magic of capillary action draw the ink into the pen, which it has done so. Count to 5. After the ink reaches the bottom of the tip holder, remove it from the bottle, dab off any excess with paper towel and screw it back into the pen. Okay, there we go. The cap screws on nicely onto the end. I'm going to put the lid back on this before I have any accidents. And I'm ready to try it. Simple enough. That's not, I was expecting something maybe a little bit more complicated. So let me try it here. I have just this Life Noble notebook that I do a lot of like experimenting and swatching and trying out things in. Takes a little bit here maybe to get this going. There we go. Yeah. Seems to work very nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this. Okay, so that's that. Now this this is for, I think, when you want to unscrew this without getting messy. Still not totally clear on that. It's a tip grip. So maybe if this end gets messy, that helps you unscrew that. Obviously I did get a little ink on my fingers, but really I think that's more because I'm messy than that this process is messy. So I will use this for a while and maybe even like let it sit for a while and see, because my only hesitation is the carbon black ink, whether it indeed, like it's working fine now, but whether it will cause any trouble, you know, down the road. So very happy with it at the moment though. Feels nice in the hand. It's small, it's short, so there's that, but very nice, nice little pen. I think I'll be adding that to my travel kit. So maybe replace my Unipen in there in my travel kit. Oh, it's short though. Maybe, I think it like might get hard to get out there, so I think maybe I'll actually put it in this slot over here. I have this eraser, so I can probably do without this one, and it fits perfectly in my art toolkit little short sleeve. Okay, there we go. So that's the Tom Studio pen. Happy with that. I do need to keep this box to keep the extra, I put the instructions in there. I've got the extra pen tips. This little silicone grabber and the lid. And maybe I'll just stick the ink in there for now too. If I have any trouble with the carbon black ink, I'll switch over to this, but again, I think this is probably water soluble ink, which doesn't suit my need as well. Okay, so now let's look at this inexpensive version of basically the same idea. So you have this pretty good sized cartridge here. So with this one you get 5 pens in the set. The downside is, and maybe they have them and I just didn't see them, but these are all brush pens, which is okay. I mean, those will be fine, but they do also have fine tip pens that you could try. So these kind of work by the same idea. I think what I'm going to do though is pick out one of my, I did the ink vent, the Diamine ink vent calendar last year, and I have a bunch of inks, fountain pen inks from that. I think I'm just going to get out my little color swatch book. Where I swatched out those inks. That's a pretty one. Now I will say they don't, I know on the Tom Studio they don't suggest using shimmer type or glitter, you know, inks that have those kind of additives in it. That's a beautiful color. Maybe I want that. Or this Blizzard. Oof. Decisions. But I think that if I just don't mix it in, like just let it stay settled in the bottom, that I'm thinking maybe it'll be okay. This is pretty as well. I like both of those. I think maybe I'll try a few of these. Fireside Snug. The Sugar Snap. I put the numbers on the cap so they would be easy to find. Maybe a blue. Do I want a blue? I think maybe this Blizzard. I think that would be a pretty selection. Okay, so I think these, again, I'm not going to shake them up so that they don't get the shimmer mixed in. Although it may not matter as much on these brush tips, I'm not sure. If any of you know, let me know in the comments. These are not like a metal tip and they're not as fine, so I'm just going to put that in there. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. It's coming up the stem. Pretty cool. And drop it in there. And I think these little end caps help push it down. Into place. And I can already see it coming into the tip. Nice. So these fountain pen inks are water soluble. This carbon black ink, once good and dry, is not. So I think those could pair nicely together. So let's see, they have these little stickers. I think this is maybe so you can put the color on the end. Probably. Like so. And it's got a cap. And there we go. So there's a couple versions. refillable pens. Let me know if you have one of these or a total other kind and what you think of them. And meanwhile, I'm going to have fun playing with these and filling them with the inks. That's the Tom Studio pen, refillable pen. Very sleek. I think this would be a really nice gift. And the Karrapo, these are by Kuretake. Oh, there's instructions that I didn't look at. Did it right though. Okay, so have fun with those. Okay, popping back in here. This is actually almost 2 weeks later, and I've both used this and had it sitting for a while, and I'm just been doing a little like neurographic art play in my sketchbook where I'm doing some coloring in with black ink and playing around with lines and doodles, and just want to come back and report that this platinum carbon black ink is still working just fine in the Tom Studio pen, so I don't foresee there being any problems. Perhaps if I left it set for months or something like that, but I think this pen is a little too handy. I don't think I'll be, leaving it set for that long because it is very useful. I've been keeping it in my little travel pouch that not only travels to other places but also travels like to the other room, like when I'm doing something in a different room than my studio, or when I'm taking it along with me on the go or wherever, waiting room, riding in the car, or whatever. This goes with me, and so I think it's going to get a lot of use, and it does seem to be working well with the ink, which is the one thing I wasn't so sure about. So I'd say that's a win. And the other pens are also still working well for me that I filled with fountain pen ink. There's another one somewhere. These are still also working great with the fountain pen ink. So whichever route you go, I think these are all a good solution and good choice to eliminate so much use of or throwing away so many plastic barrels. So hope one of those works for you. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.